I was introduced like everybody else is by your father. My father used to take me on the part of the ground, if anybody knows Deedale, it's a West Ham paddock. And the West Ham paddock in them days, we're going back to sort of like the late 60s, early 70s, is that you've got the old crowd that used to go and watch Tom Finney, and when Preston North End were a great football club. And my lasting memories of actually sitting there with my father when I was young was the fact that when the players came out onto the pitch, there's a smell of wintergreen all over the ground, whether they're covered in the knees for injuries or whatever, I don't know, but I could smell wintergreen. And the fact that as the game progressed, is the old fellas there with the pipes with the St Bruno burning away, and then half time you seen all the flasks crack between the feet, and then you could see the steam coming. It was either Bovril, coffee or whatever, and then that was it. But my lasting memories about the West Ham stand when I was younger was the fact that all the smoke, the pipe smoke and everything like that. But I've got other memories of the West Ham stand, which as you get older, the stand itself, it got grotty. It probably was grotty when I was younger, but when you're a young child, you're impressionable. I used to sit at the top in the wooden seats and used to look over, pipe smoke, everything. When I got a little bit older, I stood in the paddock that was down below, and it was a lottery. It always used to be a lottery who was going to get, well, I'm not going to swear, pooped on by the pigeons, because the pigeons used to love swooping in underneath the rafters there, and it was a case of sort of like, you know, hey, oh, he's got him, and it'd be a big mark down the back and everything. But the funniest thing that I saw, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in football, is this lad unfortunately bought a pie from the he so grotty, the takeaway section was unbelievable, and he bought this pie, and he was stood there in front of us, and he decided to take a pie out of this pie, and he bit it, and it wasn't for his taste, to say the least. So he was that disgruntled, probably, I don't know how much he paid for the pie, but obviously he didn't like what he paid for the pie, and he was so disgruntled with it, he decided to launch it. But I think his trajectory was towards the hose in the front, and it didn't go to the hose in the front. And unfortunately, when he released the pie, there was a police officer who was watching the game and watching the ground and watching the crowd, and hit him on the back of the neck. I have never seen anything as funny in all life. All the whole pie, all the potato, the meat and everything went down back of his neck, and the scream was unbelievable. You probably hear it from what they say in Greggy's church, and he went, oh! And he was pulling the pie away and he was throwing it away, and he sort of came down because he thought he was going to get arrested, obviously. Oh, sorry mate, I'm sorry about that and everything like that. But it's probably the funniest thing I've ever seen at a football ground. Poor copper, he probably ended up in the Royal Preston Hospital with third-degree burns, but oh, I'll tell you what a funny sight that was.